Hey everybody, today's reading is going to be pretty short. I'm probably jumping ahead further than I have to date in the book. I'm skipping over most of my time at my second farm, Neverland, where there's a great group of people that I met. We kind of had a Lord of the Flies situation happen. The bridge to get to the farm washed out while I was there. We were already about 2 hours away from getting food and civilization, everything like that. So it was a pretty interesting week and a half that I spent there, a little bit longer. But by the time it was over, we had all decided to leave. And we went to a small coastal town called Montanita. So everybody that fled, most were Americans, but there was an Irishman, an Australian, and I believe that was it, that came along to the coast of Ecuador. So that's where we're kind of picking things up. Since this is going to be a shorter one, I'm going to throw a lot of photos from the farm on the back end. So if you care to stick around and take a look at those, that'll give you kind of an idea of how gorgeous the area was. It really, the farm laid kind of in a rich jungle canyon alongside this river in the mountains of southern Ecuador. So a very beautiful spot, but as hopefully in the future you'll get to read a very kind of messed up situation of why this farm exists in the first place. So we'll get to that at some point, but right now here's kind of more essay style thoughts on what was happening on the coast of Ecuador. On the beach, Rachel and Neil have set up a spot to dump towels and clothes. Jamie and Lonnie are already in the water, and I don't hesitate to join them. I haven't been in the Pacific since having to retrieve a wayward soccer ball 2 Octobers ago. I can't help but run into the surf, confident that the salt water will cool me from the mid-afternoon heat. Doing my best Hasselhoff, I lift my knees for as long as the surf will allow, eventually diving violently into the refreshing Pacific. The salt touches my lips. The waves wash over as I stay under for as long as I can. Popping up, I take in the grayish-blue water framing my hips, so happy to once again be in the ocean. On my left, the wet-bearded Neil is wearing a smile as well, and we share a laugh before a wave crashes down. The waves are at 3 feet or so, keeping the surfers up north with the larger options. Looking to propel ourselves with the ocean's movements, Neil and I continue to bob through unworthy options until a good candidate arrives, and then thrash violently, attempting to body surf a curling wave. We wash out unsuccessfully, my body churning underwater for a moment before finally righting to an upright state. Neil has drifted a few more feet than me, and we share smiles again, dripping water escaping our patchy facial hair. Simple pleasure. Being an Irishman, I imagine he's just as happy about this as I. Waving for those on the beach to join, after a short discussion, they sprint into the water, knees lifted, arms flailing. After hours of punishing ourselves in the surf, I ask the obvious to Neil. Not bad, right? Not bad at all, he replies. In a trance, I gaze at the setting sun, and the moment takes me over. Leaking behind the horizon, it melts the sky into caramel. I remind myself that it's the month of April. My birthday is this month. My birthday is in a couple of days. In Seattle, it's cold. My friends have probably been enduring weeks' worth of rain and unfulfilled optimism in regards to the weather. Meanwhile, I'm stagnant in the Pacific Ocean, using its waters to cool my equatorial baked skin. I think about Jeff. I think about Andy. I think about Matt, the best friend who I don't see enough. I think about Swanee and Danny and Peanut Brittle. I think about Scotty and Guy and T-Money and Jill and Lindsay. I allow myself to think about Megan. I think about how I want to share this sunset, with those going about their lives thousands of miles away back in the Northwest. But they aren't here. I look at Neil and appreciate his presence and our quickly formed friendship, but can't help resenting him a bit as well. Why can't he be Jeff or Matt? Why can't he be any of the others? After 3 days in Montanita, everyone has started doing their own program. The couples are coupling while the single travelers do what we do best, whatever we want. I'm filling days with reading, journaling, tanning, electronic mailing, and thinking about Machu Picchu. a lot. Aside from Machu Picchu, scheduling, and desires, I've come to two conclusions. Trying to save money has cost me experiences that I think I would have enjoyed, exploring downtown Guayaquil or important sites in general / alcohol consumption, and that the people I'm traveling with now, who are sociable and like-minded, are really just rental friends. We're emotional parasites to one another, using our personalities for social enjoyment that we all have left behind in our original lives. Neil is like Jeff, but he is not Jeff. I have a Jeff. Tia is tall and gangly like my friend Lindsay, but she is not Lindsay. We are acquaintances, and except for our communal uprising at the farm, I don't see anything special spawning from the weeks we've had together.